And welcome back to the Get a Grip on Lighting live stream here at the Canada Light Expo. We are just a few minutes away from the last moments of this show, but I'm here with Elmer from Satco, who is a regular sponsor of the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast. Really appreciate that. Elmer, do you mind just giving us a quick breakdown on who you are and what you do?
So I am currently with Satco products. I take care of Ontario. For the most part, I try and just grow the territory, work with our sales reps and our agents, and for the most part, just try and be a resource for them.
No, that's great. And so, with this kind of an experience here, we haven't really seen a lot of Canadian light conferences lately. Do you think that there's growth here? Do you think there's opportunity here?
Well, you know what? This is a great start for this show, and I definitely think that if more of us display here, it's certainly going to help bring in all the designers, architects that we need to engage.
Yeah.
And so there's a good showing here, but I think that over the next few years, as more and more manufacturers engage, I think it's going to grow and be something really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And so from your perspective in the Canadian market, I deal a lot more with the U.S. market personally. What do you think are some of the challenges that we're seeing in lighting right now?
Well, 347 is always an issue, right?
For our listeners across the border right now, 347 volts is a regular voltage inside of buildings.
Exactly. We were just at a conference in Dallas with Satco. And so every time that they announced a new product and they specifically turned around and looked at us and said 347 volt, there was a collective clap from all the Canadians because, we're a smaller market compared to the U.S., right? But unfortunately or fortunately, 347 is very key for us. And Satco's doing a very good job at every product that's coming out that should be 347 volt. They're definitely implementing that. So we're definitely going to be having more product offerings that are going to take care of that.
That's excellent. And so, I think that's also really just good information for people who don't do a lot of Canadian work that might be starting to see more Canadian work coming their way. And so, where do you normally see 347 volts?
Well, we see it all, throughout commercial applications for the most part, right? Outdoor lighting, area lighting, whatever the case may be. Some of the older buildings may have it, across the common corridor areas and whatnot. It's starting to become a little bit less common now, especially with the LEDs and reduction of wattages and whatnot.
Sure.
But for the most part, anywhere we're going to be doing a retrofit application, if it's a commercial building or a high-rise building, as an example, there are going to be those areas where it hits you. And, the good part is that a lot of our products are anywhere from 120 to 347. So it does allow our customers and end users to not necessarily have to worry about, did I get the right thing or not? Because it's going to be able to take care of the whole spectrum.
And so for people who might not be as familiar with the Satco brand, what products do you offer?
Oh, that's a long story.
Try large categories.
We're really a one-stop shop. We have everything that's commercial, industrial, residential, track lighting, area lighting, street lighting. Really, you name it, we have it. Recently, we're releasing a product called Domino, which is a Bluetooth-enabled no hub control system for lighting. 347 volt. So it's going to be compatible with that. So with that product now, it really allows us to service any segment of lighting that's required. And with everything going, obviously, energy efficiency, and now that we have LEDs, we're looking for other ways to make it more energy efficient. And then there's no more energy efficient light than it being off.
Right.
And so being able to control that, the lighting that's out there and our own is definitely going to help.
And so what products are currently rolling out with this Bluetooth option?
So there's going to be mainly outdoor lighting, some troffers, and other products. However, there are modules that we will be able to use on products that are already existing. So if there's items out there that don't have the Domino capability, we can certainly go ahead and implement that. So if we do a retrofit and we only do part of the building and that's our product, but there's other stuff there that we need to control as well. We'll be able to bring it into the same same system.
Yeah, and so is this going to have like a phone app or something as well?
No, it's not. Well, there is a phone app,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all housed within the Bluetooth system.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the phone app, you'll be able to create zones, be
Mm-hmm.
able to do daylight harvesting systems.
Nice.
It's really a full-featured set. I'm very
Yep.
excited about it because I think it's really a component that we were missing to be able to just
Sure.
put the whole package together, and that's definitely going to allow us to do that.
Well, and again, we're seeing a lot. We were just talking to Osea a little while ago about the rebates, and so we are seeing more incentives to do networked lighting controls.
Exactly.
And so that makes sense that now people can take advantage of that using Satco's products.
Right. In the U.S. primarily, I believe any new application has to have controls,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's definitely the way that it's going. And we're very well positioned with the introduction of Domino to be able to take advantage of that,
Mm-hmm.
and frankly to help our customers save some money.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we
I
can do the
mean,
best we can.
price really does become a push point for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And so you've probably seen a good number of projects get done with Satco products. Are there any projects that you particularly think fondly of?
So I've been with Satco for a year and a half right now.
Mm-hmm.
At the current moment, we do have a lot of our products being implemented on PO region.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of their facilities for training and so on have our products in them.
Mm.
There's been a few high-rise buildings where we're putting in our products as well. But at the moment, we're working on specifying a couple of larger projects that are rather
Sure.
keep off the news.
Yeah. But
You know.
I'm excited to see when those are publicly announced. And
Absolutely. I'm in the process of actually reintroducing the product because at the moment we didn't have the ability to do the controls, which was a
Sure.
weakness. And so now I have to go back and redo the presentation and say, hey, we have this portion of the product that you can use. Now we can complete
Sure.
the remainder of it.
And so before you had the controls option, were you getting a lot of people saying, hey, do you do the controls? Can you help us with controls?
Absolutely, and again, it was a weakness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we have our competitors that have that type of product, and so you marry that the controls to the product,
Mm-hmm.
and so by not having the controls, then therefore we couldn't introduce the product in those
Right.
specific areas. Being able to do everything together now we're truly becoming a one-stop shop.
Right. And so let's say, for instance, I want to get Satco on a project. I'm either a facilities manager, building owner, or
Yes.
a specifier. What would I do? What's the first step?
Well, you would reach out to one of our agents. So we work through Intralec here in Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
You're also more than always welcome to give me a shout. I'm a little bit of a lighting nerd, so I love to be involved in those processes and the discussions and putting those packages together. We'll be working directly with engineers and designers as we roll it out, earlier next year.
Sure.
But absolutely, I'm the person that you can call, and I'll be fully informed and knowing how to put it
So
together.
I mean, it sounds like you're like you said, you're trying to be a one-stop shop, and you're even supporting the projects, getting the documentation together,
Yes.
and being able to work with contractors. And you were talking about training facilities. So are you seeing like training facilities for lighting cropping up, or are you talking more just educational outlets?
More educational outlets.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, we're still trying to figure out here in Ontario how we're going to approach it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, controls are typically an engineered product.
Yeah.
And so we have to get in there and re-educate.
Yeah.
The engineers, the architects, the specifiers as to exactly what Domino does. And it really does what all the major systems do.
Sure.
But it does it in a cleaner, more efficient way.
Talk more about that.
So, typically you have to have servers and whatever the case may be, depending
Mm-hmm.
on the complexity of the system. Domino's, as I mentioned before, is going to be all Bluetooth enabled.
Mm-hmm.
And so one unit's going to talk to the other unit, so every single unit's a repeater.
So this is Bluetooth mesh.
It's a Bluetooth mesh,
Yeah.
exactly. So, the benefit of that is going to be that if you're using the product, say, in a car garage, right, and depending where the items may be, maybe they lose control or sight of each other.
Mm-hmm.
But by creating a mesh, it's definitely going to be able to communicate. So
Yeah.
if one goes down, it's okay. The other ones are going to take up. And so it's going to make it very reliable.
Yeah.
It's going to allow you to use it in areas where typically you wouldn't be able to use non-Bluetooth systems, because every single unit's a repeater.
Right. Right. So you can do like a nice retrofit of a parking garage that currently has some outdated fixtures, replace those fixtures, put in something with the domino, and then you've got a nice lighting control solution as well as lighting.
Exactly. And it will also allow us to go back to those jobs that have already been done. And if they want to implement a control system, we'll be able to implement this into that as well.
Right. And so, I mean, with the advancement of lighting controls, I mean, there really are some great benefits to that. I mean, you were saying the most efficient way is to just shut the lighting off, but sometimes, especially with parking garages, people don't like having the lighting just completely off. They might want to reduce it.
Exactly.
And so it's about making sure that when people are using the space, they have the appropriate illumination, maybe using motion sensing technology or working with the daylight to make sure that there's just an appropriate amount.
Beyond the controls, there are going to be light sensors and humidity sensors at some point. It is really a full-featured set.
Yeah.
So it's not just going to be controlling the lighting, but it's also going to be controlling the lighting depending on outdoor environment, how much natural light is coming in, or depending on the occupancy or vacancy, whichever way you want to go of an environment. So it's really going to allow you to have full control of whatever it is that you want to do, or however you want to manage it. It's really going to allow you to have that full control of the environment.
No, that's excellent. I'm really excited to see this product.
We're very excited.
I'm sure you are.
Absolutely. It's gonna help us to be able to put together a full package and really just put a solution for the customers that is just going to work outside the box and
and I think a lot of people really do have some grief with lighting controls in general. A lot of people find frustration with either if it's overly complicated or hard to install. It sounds like you're really trying to circumvent that and provide a solution that's easy for people.
I can't really tell you how easy this is going to be. It really is. And listen, without mentioning names, I've implemented many systems from other companies, now competitors, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of complexity built in. So when we were looking into this, there was a lot of thought put into how to make it easier, how to make it effortless to put together.
Yeah.
And while the presentation was happening, I was genuinely thinking, please make sure we got it right. Please make sure we got it right. And by the end of the presentation, I was like, thank God we got everything right. So I can't really overstate how excited I am about this product and all the different components that it's going to come in, allowing us to really do anything that's necessary.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, Elmer, I really appreciate you coming on and talking about this. And if you want to learn more, satco.com, is that it?
That is correct.
SATCO.com.
That's correct. Yes.
And hopefully we'll hear more about the domino as the months go by. But it's a really exciting thing, and thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.